Marcus is with us, and it is rather warm in here, isn't it? And very warm. Very warm, and it was very hot out there as well, wasn't it? Aaron O'Connor on fire, just what you needed after Thursday night's disappointment. Chalk and cheese, 5 changes, 4-1 result. Talk us through it, Marcus.
Yeah, you make the changes and you want to make sure it comes through, and I think everyone put in a very good shift. Very, very heavy out there. I know the sun was blazing, but with all the rain and the snow over the last weeks, it's still very heavy. Hopefully the pitch will get a good rest for the Weymouth game and will dry out, and we can have a bit more can shift the ball a little bit better than what we did today, because it was just a battle. And in all fairness, we dealt with that very well. And today's in the end is just all about Aaron O'Connor.
All about Aaron O'Connor, but there were some other stars in there as well, wasn't there? Toten did well again. I thought Meikle made the first 2 goals with assists. It was a good all-round performance.
Lyndon broke down with a bug Wednesday, and that's why he wasn't involved on Tuesday with Kings Lynn. And on reflection on Tuesday, I think we missed Lyndon. No disrespect to Ben, and Ben's still forming his way back with his minutes. You know, he's had a great season, but Lyndon really, since we've moved him in there, has really took it on, and he's put a marker in there, and fair play to him. We sorely missed him, I felt on Thursday, and he was very influential. And when I sort of pressed Aaron, because I felt Dunstable and Kings Lynn, we didn't have as much from him as I'd like, so I put the challenge into him, and what a way of responding.
29 league goals, 34 goals overall, not included in the Northampton Senior Cup, which we add those on later.
Okay.
But a fantastic performance from him. As I say, he's overtook Robbie Cooke for the leading goal scorer in a season league goal scorer of 28 goals. That's
the club.
The club, yeah. We
broke a few little records.
We broke a lot of records.
Clean sheets.
Clean sheets. We're also the highest goal scorers at the moment with 104 goals, which is good. We've overtaken Hereford and Slough, of course.
With still games to go.
With still games to go. Yeah, it's getting very, very close there. What was the difference today, do you think, though, between the game on Thursday? We didn't get a chance to speak on 32 much.
Position.
Yes. Well, in a nutshell, there we have it. But yes, it was. Kings Lynn were a good side.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no excuses. I felt they were the better side. We're managing the weeks with the games as well, and we're forecasting how the week will come. You know, we kind of pitched and thought we would try something to a certain degree, whilst we were trying to sort of spring an attack on them in terms of the legs. And I actually felt, we rode our luck a lot of the time with goal line clearances.
3, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, and the bar, and we've took the lead, and then I think just as they've scored the equaliser, we kind of went back to our sort of natural shape to try and get out a bit more, and they just flipped their shape just at the same time. So the next 5 minutes, it was just they sort of went on top of us. And
Gash and Norman in particular were impressive.
The right back's got championship clubs looking at him. He's got numerous league clubs there, and he was excellent down here. I've watched him 4 times now, and he's a very good player, and a unique position as well, because how do you stop a right back as marauding as he is? And selection wise, I know there was a few questions out on Ben, but we felt we needed a natural defender against him. We don't think an attacking player would suit because of the attacking threat he gives us. So they've got a very, very strong shape in terms of how they work it. So it's not the end of the world how that game panned out. So obviously we'll keep that in house in terms of our reflections on that. But yeah, great response. I think the difference between where we are this year to where we were 2 years ago, where we had the run in the games, the 5 changes are on a level. They would quite comfortably start the next league game.
We said last week, Marcus, at Dunstable, that the last 3 games against Hitchin had all ended 0-0, and something was going to change. It certainly changed, didn't it? We had not been able to break them down before, but knife through butter, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lyndon and Aaron, I'm not sure if they play. Yeah, they did play at their place, but they're a young, organised side. Berkeley does a good job with them. They try and be physical. They're not great in height, but they certainly throw their.
McNamara a good player, isn't he? And
on his day,
on
we tried to track him down in my first season here.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he ended up going to Hemel. So yeah, he's a threat. So he was a challenge to Ben today. Wilson's first start worked his absolute socks off.
Did he more like he used to be, isn't he, today?
Yeah, it's hard for him. He's been out for a bit and he's trying to come into a side that's the top end of the table. To get him to start as and when the right time is difficult because the players, obviously, when you're higher up the league, you're playing well, and it's just nice to put him in there. And we look to threat. He gets the role. We've got two players vying for that position with abundance of pace, which is good. We've got Rene, who gives us a certain dynamic with his size and technical, and then you've got the work rate of Matty, who will always have goal scoring opportunities, as I say, as he speaks for himself, and the fact that we've been able to rest the Angel, the Kettering sort of hero as it was. Ironically, he scored the first goal of the season and he scored the 100th. Sometimes
might score the last yet.
Yeah. Sometimes people's paths are out, aren't they? Yeah. And it was nice just to probably give him a rest with the week ahead.
Did he want to rest or did he?
Brent, no. To give the boy credit, he looks after himself and he's hungry still, and he's done a fantastic job I've been here for 3 years, and it was the same when I was first here, and certainly in the time he deserves the rewards, and I think it's one of his best goal scoring seasons as well. So yeah, there's just lots of little boxes being ticked, and we've done extremely well with the clubs that we're competing with to be in the top 5, to score over 100 goals, to have 5 games left, and we're on the verge of breaking 90 points. It's a credit to how the season's gone, but it's nowhere near finished. Results again have been a bit of a mixed bag, so that second place is viable, and I think our home form, we really need to get as many positive results as possible, and if we can get that second place, then a home leg here on a Wednesday will put us in a real good position. So we're going all out and we're doing everything we can, managing the squad the best we can. There was guys who didn't get on today who had 90 minutes on Thursday. Players coming off, disappointed that they're coming off.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, which you want at the end of the day. But I'm already now, once the game was secure, I'm thinking about Tuesday and Thursday. With all the will in the world, players can't put in the levels that we need to be able to get that second spot. And I want the lads at it. I want to be in an uncomfortable position going into the semi-finals, not knowing which one to pick, because I want them all to perform.
Well, Aaron O'Connor was the star of the show. We can show you his 4th goal, the one to see out the game. And very unselfish of Rennie Howe as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think he tried to do that in the first half, but he ended up slipping on the ball, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's
well, those acute angles. He's very good, isn't he, O'Connor?
Yeah, he connects well. I think you get mixed up.
The third goal, third goal, which I think was very, very unselfish of Rennie Howe. He could have probably gone on and shot.
I think he tried to do that in the first half when we were 2-0 up, but I think he slipped, didn't he, as he was breaking through. But no, we're in a good place in terms of the options, and we can change the game. I mean, look at Gastora today. What a fantastic! He's
just come in, hasn't he? Really, I mean, he's been on the sidelines for a while. He comes in and puts in the performance.
He started off the season. He was on the fringe, and he gets his head down. He works hard. I think very rarely misses training. He lost his shirt due to a wedding and family commitment, then followed by he picked up an illness, and he's not banging my door. He's not phoning, making phone calls. He just gets on with his job. He understands, and and he comes in and. He puts me on my back foot, thinking, right, he's put himself out there to be picked. Callan, who's done a fantastic job for us here, he's suspended for 3 games.
Is that why you arrested him today?
I kind of prepared in my mind what the team would be going into today, and there's no way Callan would play them amount of games. Obviously, with him being suspended, it now makes me think, Liam or Gary will look at that. So we'll go into Tuesday. it could be that the pair of them get rotated round, but there's no way Ben can play 3 games in 7 days at the levels that we need. So yeah, we'll pitch it and pick it right. The only positive about all the games for everyone is they'll be hungry and positive, and they're canvassing themselves extremely well for when we have to pick the side in the semi-final, because I think today now all 5 are now confirmed. So
yes,
we can confidently say we're now in the playoffs. And we just got to try and get that home.
That must be a nice relief as well, though, Marcus, to get into the playoffs. I know it's something you've
been
fighting
I mean,
for.
we mentioned it a couple of weeks back. It was nigh on there, but you just want mathematically, just to make sure we're vying for the home legs like they all are. And Hitchin today are going to be very influential on what happens. They play Weymouth last game of the season. They got Slough on Monday. So
and Hereford.
They got Hereford, but I think
that's a foregone conclusion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the draws today have sort of helped Hereford there. In a roundabout way, they could be picking up the trophy next Saturday against us, which might be a motivation. And if we're seeing teams picking up and getting the glory, that might put us in good stead.
Be a huge Kettering support, I would think, at Edgar Street next Saturday.
Hopefully, I mean it's a football league ground. We have high expectations here. The fans have fond memories of being higher up in the non-league world and going to these grounds with a good following, and I'm sure they will go out, and with it being the last away game certainly of the league programme, hopefully they come down and make a bit of a day of it and get behind us, and hopefully we can spoil their party slightly, because we've got our own programme to run, and like I said, we need
home advantage.
And our home form, it makes we have to. That's been the big difference. I think if our away form was better, we would have been competing with Hereford.
Yeah, looking at the top 5 sides, our away form is the poorest of the 5.
Yes,
only by 1 game, but
yeah, but on a point ratio, I think it's literally like a point.
Yeah.
Where our home form,
home form's tremendous.
Yeah, I think we're like averaging 4.5, and our goals, I think that's 54.
Yeah.
53. 53 home games. We're still 3 games to go.
Yeah.
So
all joy then.
Yeah, well, you know, I was criticised last year in the style and how we played. And I took things on board from the boardroom perspective, listened to certain voices, and give credit to the staff. They listened to the kind of mentality I wanted at home, hard working, lots of energy, lots of endeavour, a strong, aggressive underbelly, which was our flaw last year. And certainly at home, we've ticked them boxes, and we've given the regulars something to be proud and enjoy, and you see a difference with the crowd as well. There was a few times last season where one's waiting for the other, where our supporters are certainly on board with us because of the work ethic of the team, and I mean, what's that, like 3 games on the bounce now? We've scored 4
exactly,
at home.
4-3, wasn't it? 4-0 against Royston.
Yeah, so they're getting
goals
against
Bishop.
That's you know, anyone who's going to look at playing us here, they've got to take that on board.
Remember you said to me a few years ago, Marcus, I think when you first came, it takes 3 years to build a team. We're going to need to score over 100 goals to get into the positions, and that's panned out that way, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what stats say. You know, that's what we run off. We ideally, I think, for the circumstance of the club last year, we kind of wanted, but you know, it didn't happen. This year, we've fallen short to a team that has been very, very consistent, and never say die attitude, because of the amount of 90-minute goals that they've scored, even today against 10 men, even so. So, you know, a lot of credit to Peter and the side that they've got there, and they're going to be well over the 100 mark. We're going to be in and around 100, as are Weymouth, Slough, and Kings Lynn, which is a credit to all of us. And it's just that's how the league's been, and that there has been a bit of a gap. And you know, any other time, maybe any one of us, well, it would have been the 4 of us probably going into this week trying to vie for the top position. So Yeah, I mean, I think as well, like Slough never lost to Hereford. Kings Lynn, we've matched each other in terms of points.
Slough better than haven't we?
We've done with Over and Slough at the moment. Weymouth have got 3 on us. I'm not too sure how Weymouth have got on against teams in and around them. I know they didn't beat Hereford. So yeah, we've kind of took points off each other. Where if we were going to compete with Hereford, we probably could have done with maximising on each other. So,
but well, it's all there, isn't it?
It was just nice to play in the sun.
Yes, I'm not quite sure what it was in there.
It was bright, yeah, it was hot. Not as hot as in here, mine, but
and there's no heating on either, so.
Yeah, your red wine will be bubbling away.
I haven't got any, Marcus. I've given up.
Of course you have.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. Brilliant. We'll see you on Tuesday. There goes Marcus. Very happy with his team's 4-1 win.